Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Dr. Ross, William Hutton,
Here.
Dennis Sadowski, Nancy Reagan,
Here.
Kathleen Hill,
Here.
3 present, we have a quorum.
All right. We have minutes.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I just want all the board members to understand that with 3 members and a quorum, that's quorum, all decisions have to be unanimous.
Okay, I was going to say that after our approval of our minutes.
And secondly, we need to have a motion to, there was an amended agenda on your desk. It was just a technical correction, but we need a motion to accept the amended agenda.
Okay, you want that now?
Yes.
Okay, the amended agenda is for Z23-16. And instead of saying, which I just put away,
It's just a technical correction on
just a
how it
technical
was listed on
correction
the
as
case
far as
numbers.
instead of saying developmental use, it should say developmental variance.
Oh, okay.
So could we have a motion to accept the amended agenda?
I'd like to make that motion to accept the amended agenda.
I'll
Yep.
second it.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote?
No, it's all calls are by, I'm sorry, go ahead.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes.
3 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed.
Okay. As was mentioned, with only 3 members present, if there is one that is voting not in favor of any of the things that need to be discussed tonight and voted on, it would not pass. So is there anyone here that when we get to them, they would prefer that we table the motion for the next meeting? That would be fine, okay? Just so you're aware of that. All right, could we have the minutes in regard to September 26, 2023? Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion. We accept them.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
William Hutton,
Yes.
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes,
3 ayes, 0 nays, motion passed.
right.
You need to turn on the video for the council chambers.
Jake, did you hear that? You need to turn the video for the council chambers on?
Even though you could have the Zoom camera on, you have to have it on the actual software program.
Recording in progress.
It should be on, if not, then I don't.
Mr. Westland, has anything changed on your side?
It's on now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I cannot see exactly who is on here with the way it's situated. Are there names underneath the people who are there?
Yes, just proceed, please.
Well, we just can't see names, I'm sorry. We have no old business before us, new business. We have Z-23-15, petition of Spacebound Operations LLC, DBA Ninja Kids Action Park for developmental variance regarding Title 21, Sections 21.21, parens C, parens 1, to allow for 2 additional identification signs for each greater than 32 square feet, and both for a single on-site use and for an increase of exterior signage from 330 square feet to 645 square feet in a S1 open space and recreational district located at 2825 Mahoney Drive in the city of Hammond. Has all notification requirements been met?
Yes, they have.
Okay, do we have anyone who is before us to present this?
You do.
The petitioner, if you just state your name and your address for the record, please.
Yeah, my name is Tim Miller. My address is 582 South Grant Street, Mapleton, Utah, 84664.
All right, bear with us, Mr. Miller. This is the first time we've ever had a petitioner before us electronically.
Well, we have a new system.
Pardon?
Yeah, we have a new system
Well,
with
I am-
monitors and, yeah.
So would you like to give us your presentation?
Absolutely. I apologize we couldn't do this in person. We both have a couple little ones that are eager to get out, and so we had to do this one electronically. But we are excited, first and foremost, excited to represent, this business in the great city of Hammond. It's been a great process getting this open. We're excited. It's a trampoline park, and we want it to be a great building, a great business, particularly for Hammond, for moms to bring kids, to have a safe, fun, enjoyable environment, get off video games and screens and just come have fun at our establishment. We've put a lot of work and effort and a lot of our heart and soul into this building, and really the remaining touches are just some signage. In that particular location, it is tucked away from the interstate, and it is very, very easy to miss if you don't know what you're looking for. And so our goal coming in was always to kind of mirror and replicate what the current landlord, Frank Buck, had did with his sign, a non-illuminated sign that is viewable from the interstate and from the main roads, so folks do not get confused and start to go into some of the residential roads, particularly 174th Street and 175th Street, which lead into some residential areas. We'd like to keep all that traffic in the on the main roads and directly into the parking lot. And so with that proposal, we have stuck to the same exact vendor that the previous landlord has already used. We stuck with the same color mix, particularly blue and black. It is a non-illuminated sign, and we're asking for approval to put it on both our north wall and the west wall of the exterior of the building, both of which would make up less than 6% of the total square footage of that building. And so it wouldn't look out of place or anything like that. And that is what we would like to do if we have your blessing and approval.
All right, do any members have any questions? Staff members, did you have any questions?
Not at this.
Okay. We will open up for public expression. Anyone like to stand up and speak for or against this? Anyone online like to speak for or against? Hearing none, is it okay if we just close public expression at this time? All right. Mr. Miller, you have nothing to comment on since there's no questions or concerns, so could we have our staff report?
Yes, request the staff reports entered into the record to be included in the minutes, but in the case of Z2315, the staff recommendation reads as, staff has reviewed the petitioner's request and recommends that the BZA grant the developmental variance should the board feel the petitioner has met the standards. There's also a
Any members
one-page
have
findings of
questions
fact.
now? Mr. Poland, did you have any questions?
No.
Okay. We have proposed findings of fact that have been presented to us. Any comments from members? Any additions, deletions? Hearing none. Do we have a motion to adopt the staff report and the proposed findings of fact as presented?
I make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, could we have a roll call vote?
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Kathleen Hill,
Yes?
3 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
All right, do we have a motion in regard to Z-23-15 for the developmental variance?
I make that motion
Do what? Approve?
to approve the development
Okay.
variance.
We have a motion to approve the developmental variance for Z-23-15. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes.
3 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Okay. Mr. Miller, you're ready to go, and you can go trick-or-treating with your kids now.
Thank you so much, the city of Hammond.
Let's have a safe one. We'll be in touch.
All right. The next two items involve the same property.
No.
No?
Oh, that's all right, sorry. You continue, I'm sorry.
What?
I said continue, I'm sorry, I misheard you. I apologize.
Okay. Is it okay with the staff and the board members if we read them both together and take separate vote?
Yes.
All right. We have Z-23-16, petition of Reliable Properties and Development, LLC, for developmental variance regarding Title 2, Section 2.30, parens A, to allow a reduction in the minimum lot area requirement to build in a R1 single-family residential district located at 3905 Oak Crest Lane in the city of Hammond, and Z-23-17, petition of Reliable Properties and Developmental LLC for developmental variance regarding Title II, Section 2.31, parens A, to allow a reduction in the minimum front yard setback required in a R1 single-family residential district located at 3905 Oak Crest Lane in the city of Hammond. Have all the requirements been met?
Yes, they have.
All right. At this time, if the petitioner would like to come forward and tell us about both of these, and then we will take a separate vote, okay? So you want to come forward, state your name, sign in, and give your address, please.
Ray Anderson, 7134 and 14 Klein Avenue, Hammond.
Real quick, if you're with the public, are you with the public, not the petitioner? Okay, yeah, no, we'll
Petitioner is Jezreel Rodriguez.
yeah, he's online, so we'll call you up. Yeah,
This petitioner has to speak first.
Okay.
yeah, sorry, guys.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Hey,
All right, Mr. Rodriguez is also electronically?
Mhm.
All right.
Online.
And where, is that him on the screen?
Yeah,
Yes,
please-
I'm in here. Good evening.
Yeah, please state your
Okay.
name and your
Can
address.
you
And then,
state your name and your address, please? And I guess you can't sign in unless you got something automatic that they can do that.
Yes, my name is Jezreel Rodriguez. Our business address is 6824 Calumet Avenue in Hammond, Indiana, 46324.
Okay, would you like to tell us about both of your petitions?
Sure. So we are seeking approval to build a single-family home in this lot 3905 Oak Lane. We are a local company based out of Hammond. We've been doing business quite a while already. We do a little bit of construction. We buy properties. We sell properties. We really like our city. We feel part of the city. It's a good place to live. So what we're trying to build is a single-family home on this particular lot. Before we purchased this property, this piece of land, we had a conversation with the city and expressed, our interest in build this home, and been talking for a while, and now we're in front of the board, hopefully to get approval to build this home.
Okay, why are you requesting as far as a reduction in the lot size and front yard setback?
That was based on after talking to Tom, assistant city planner. He was the one that mentioned that to us, that we had to go to the proper channels. And after having some conversations, that was the right thing to do.
Okay.
Okay, but why is there a need to do that for your building?
so,
Hang on. For the petitioner, do you understand that the first case is for a reduction of the lot size because the property does not have the 7,500 square feet? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, because that's really what we're trying to have you as a presenter to make that clear to the board. We have the documentation, but that's the nature of what we're asking for you as a petitioner to do. And then Tom, fill in the current lot size is how many square feet?
I believe it's 6166 square feet.
Okay, so that is the nature reduction
Yes.
of 7,500 to that.
And so to be clear, it meets the width, it just doesn't meet the overall size, yes.
Okay, all right. And then the second case is to reduce the setback that normally is 25 feet, and you are aware that you are seeking to reduce that to less than 25 feet, correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay. And Tom, the number is going from 25 to 22?
Yes, to 22 feet, yes.
Okay. And this is based on the fact that this is where the main wall is and that the porch extends beyond the main wall by 3 feet, and so therefore that's the nature of the variance. Is that correct?
Correct.
I'm sorry, is there?
These are correct.
Okay, acoustics are terrible.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Correct.
so that's the nature of the petitions are, so if I would say that the chairperson would like to know if there's any questions from the board members?
Okay,
I do, thank you. The property line is the back of the sidewalk on this parcel? And we're going from 25 feet to 23 feet, 22 feet. Why the difference?
You have to look at the alignment of the houses that are adjacent, and all of them pretty much correspond to what is being requested here.
Okay.
So the primary wall is at 25 feet. It is just this extension of a porch.
Okay.
Yeah, the dwelling space itself will not extend past the 25 feet. So it's meant to match the front walls of all the other homes. There are a couple other homes in the area that have front porches that extend past that 25 feet. So he's just requesting for his front porch to go in front of the home itself will sit at 25 feet.
I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. I just wanted to get the explanation. Are we also talking about the area,
We're talking about both of them, or we'll do them separately.
are we also talking about the area of the lot?
Yes,
Yes, those are the two.
And the minimal ordinance area is what?
7,500 square feet in an R1.
And what do we have here?
6166.
Okay, thank you.
All the other lots in this neighborhood were platted the same size. This
Perfect.
property used to have a house on it, but it was removed for whatever reason was, and the petitioner is seeking these variances in order to construct a new house on an existing lot in the neighborhood.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Was the old house situated in the same setbacks and everything like that, too?
Based on the information we have available, yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions on either one from board members? Mr. Rodriguez, do you have any other comments to make?
No, what I would like to see, like I would like to say is, this house is one of the model house that we have that we want to build, and it's a little bit bigger than probably the houses that are on the area, but we need to consider that those houses were old, back in the days, and now people are looking for houses a little bit more bigger. So we try to. I think that the model home that we're proposing on this area is pretty similar to the neighborhood.
Okay. I notice also that this construction would not include a garage or a driveway. Is parking allowed on the street in this area?
Yes?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, did you hear my question? Is
I
parking,
heard your question.
Is parking allowed?
There's parking there's street parking
Okay.
on this neighborhood.
All right, thank you. For members of the staff, if a driveway or a garage would have to be built, would there be room on the property to do such a thing?
Well, I can let Brian comment as well, but I think if it was an attached garage, there shouldn't be an issue, which a number of other homes have.
All right, any other questions? And we will move into a period of public comments. Anybody would like to speak before or against? Now is your turn. And state your name and your address and sign in, please.
Ray Anderson, 7134 and 7114 Klein Avenue, Hammond.
Carol Anderson, 7142 Klein Avenue, Hammond, 46323.
Right. Okay, do I need to sign in? My question is, on the back side of the lot, some years back, we on our south fence of our industrial property, there was a big blowout that we moved our fence out 12 foot, which we had every right to do, and we finally got it up. There is 12 inches in there of where I set the fence as opposed to the line. I have visited the lot at the 3905, and there was a stake up almost against the fence the other day, and then it was moved back. When I went back there a couple days later, then it was moved back closer to the fence. There's 12 inches in there. I have no problem with them building a house in there. I just strongly would love to see, I know it's staked out, but I'd like to see those metal poles driven into the ground where the property line is before anything is done. Because over the years, what's happened is all them people, and you all know, we've been there before time began, they all say, oh no, we own all the way up to the fence, and they don't. And I specifically had that fence 12 inches off the line, so there would be no mistake. But over the years, they start building pools and garages. I just had a neighbor, 5 houses to the east of this property, put a fence up, and I had just had it surveyed out by Turinga. Turinga moved his own stake out, and I had to argue with him, you get that thing fixed before any fence is put up. He put it up, and they still built the fence over the line. There's one piece that's still over, and to be a good neighbor, I don't say anything. But if we ever go to move or build a chain link fence for our industrial property, eventually there's a solid fence there. Eventually, I'm going to put an 8-foot or whatever code is for along that south edge. I don't want disputes on that line, because the last time I got so upset, I got so sick, I ended up getting shingles. That's how bad it got. So I would like to see not only staked out, but I want the surveyor's rods where they say their property line is. And if there's any discrepancy, I'm going to get on Stu Turinga's butt, because there's always some kind of, oh, well, don't worry about it. And over the years, when they built that subdivision, and we actually owned that at one time. I've got pictures here when there was nobody there. Oh yeah, Andersons are going to be gone. We're still here, coming up on 90 years. So as Stu told us, you're not supposed to be there. And I was like, why? So that's all I'm asking. I'm all for building a house. Let's just get that staked out with metal rods in the ground where the property is before anything's built. That's all I have to say.
Okay,
I'm trying to understand better what you're saying, because when I'm looking at the Plata survey, you're talking about the fence that runs east-west, and that's, are you saying that that fence is yours?
That metal fence?
That fence is ours,
Yeah.
yes.
Is yours, okay. Because according to the Plata survey, I see that the metal fence is set back from the property line.
It is a little bit.
It's hard to tell exactly how
About
much.
12 inches we have further toward. And
Okay.
then there's NIPSCO easement. So that was what the concern I had, is that there are poles running through the whole neighborhood along that side. So people have built onto the NIPSCO easement, which is their choice, but then they try to go past that onto our property also. And we don't want anyone to build onto where our property is.
Yeah, I think it's always difficult that over time, nobody realizes that there's this discrepancy. And so technically what it would mean is that if someone wants to put, let's say, a wood fence next to yours, it would be inches, they're inches apart from each other.
Right.
And then that's just by the nature of the construction of a fence, because if you have a wood fence, you have to be on the outside to nail it in,
I
and
understand
then your
that.
fence is in the way. So it is kind of, a rock and a hard place as to how to make that practically work. But as far as the petitioner is concerned, I think if you understand what their question is, there seems to be a discrepancy as to where the property line is and where the adjacent property owner's fence is. And so just as a cautionary statement, just kind of be aware of that and really understand and look at your Plata survey, because it shows that very clearly. As far as the remonstrator's comment about the rods in the ground, which is the corners, when this was platted, whatever year it was platted, they should still be there. They should be undisturbed.
Well, they should be, but they're not.
Well, the
Because
neighbor.
they just got it moved.
Yeah, the neighbor that's to the east side, which is Mr. Zarimba, he's got the rods clearly marked. And that line should follow, it could be a couple degrees off going, because that's a long stretch, but not 12 inches or 7 inches in from past Mr. Zarimba's house. And that's where the wooden stakes were at. That puts it like 3 inches from my fence.
Yeah, so again, going back to the petitioner, when you hired Turinga to do the Plata survey, did you ask them to confirm or reinstall the corner markers?
No, I didn't ask them to, they were hired to do the Plata survey. They were hired to do the site plan. So as far who put this stake, who removed the stake, and not, I can't speak about that. So to answer your question, I don't know who removed the stake. There was some stake, but we got the site plan, and I can see what you're saying about proper
Sure.
lines.
So
I'm really familiar. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, I'm a civil engineer, so I know how to read plans and I know what you're talking about. So, so as far putting back stake, I can ask if this during construction, if this gets approved and they finally end up building this home here, I can ask them to, put the stake, proper line stake at the same time that they will have to go back and stake, the proposed residence.
Okay.
By the time that we do any excavation.
So for everybody to understand something, by definition of a plat of survey, the corners are marked, either locating existing ones, or if there is a discrepancy or whatever, the new corners are marked. That's what the plat of survey does, as opposed to a different type of survey. So I kind of got lost in the conversation about, you said things were moved and things like that. But I think from the petitioner's standpoint is that I would recommend that you follow up with Taringa to make sure that they did mark the corners or identify the existing corners, because as I said, that is what a plat of survey is supposed to do, by definition.
And this survey supposedly was done on June 23rd, 23.
Well, the site plan was.
Well, and that's the whole point, is that it comes down to confirming that did Taringa do a formal plat of survey as opposed to the site plan. Now, based on the information presented in the site plan, this is a plat of survey. So
Well, at the bottom, it says, "This is not a boundary survey. This drawing is not intended to be represented as a retracement or original boundary survey, or a route survey, or a surveyor location."
Okay, fair enough.
One can assume maybe they did the survey and then this site plan is separate from it, and so they put that disclaimer. But either way, go on.
Okay, so nonetheless, thank you for the correction, but I think you need to have Taringa come out and do this as a plat of survey, so we know exactly where the corners are, and hopefully everybody will understand where the fence is or is not in the proper place and all of that.
And one other thing I'd say is maybe follow up with your landscapers. I mean, I'm just trying to think, maybe a landscaper moved it or something like that, and that's why it was moved. I don't know.
Somebody's been mowing it and stuff. It could have got bumped.
It could have been the mower guy or something, yeah.
I don't know where it goes. So
But I get it. I mean, he can get with Taringa and make sure those are placed, yeah.
Well,
Replaced, yeah.
boundary stakes are so far in the ground, they're not supposed to be disturbed unless somebody is viciously trying to dig them out.
You mean the metal rods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Those,
Oh, yeah, we're talking about
these were the wooden stakes.
the wooden stakes.
Well, wooden stakes, yeah, whatever, but,
Right.
I know when I did my plat of survey, my stakes, the real corner markers are
Yes.
far enough in the ground that I can't find them anymore.
You have to dig for them, yeah.
Well, that's what got me with the other house. They actually came out and dug up the ones they had just resurveyed a couple months later. And I told Stu at Taringa, I said, look, did you tell my father it was close, or did you tell him it was exact? He said, I told him it was exact. I said, he's going to come back and haunt you. You better get it right. And he did. He made it right. And like I said, it was $7,000 or $8,000 to get this plat of survey and the Alta B, and he was honored to do it. Let's just get it right. I'm all for building a new house there. Just get the lines in there, and I'll work with him with put a nice chain link fence with the slats in it, because eventually I'm getting rid of that metal fence. It looks terrible.
Yeah. So if I may ask, your father was?
Lewis Anderson.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, I can't. Now it's jogging your memory. Okay, then. So could you imagine Stu telling me, "Yeah, Lou, it's close"? That ain't gonna.
Of all the people I've met over the years, he was one of the fun characters.
Yeah, I still have customers say that I wish your dad would come in and yell at me. I mean,
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, if he replaces the fence, does he have to get a permit to do it?
So, yeah, technically, we need a permit, so yes.
Is it possible for these two to get together when the surveyor comes out so they can both Are you
I'd
with the
love to.
surveyor at the time?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
And like I said, work with him, putting a chain link fence with slats so he doesn't have to lay it, whatever. But I just
maybe-
want to make sure those,
We just want it to be right before before everything starts, because it's easier to get it right in the beginning than to undo once they've already started the
You're
work.
definitely correct.
yeah. And I'm sure whatever house that they build will be a nice addition to the Old Crest Manor. It's still, that neighborhood is still pretty nice because that's where I grew up. It's still pretty nice. It's still holding its value, and they got some good people in there. Not many originals left. They're mostly gone, but let's just do it right. That's all I'm asking.
Maybe the staff can get contact phone numbers for all these people?
Well,
Since we have one remote?
This is starting to become a private matter,
Yes.
but rather than
Yeah.
a staff matter. But we will certainly share your contact information with each other, and that, you know, if you could write your email on there, just in case.
Yes, thank you.
have that. And that way, you know, you guys can work it out amongst yourselves. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for
Mr.
your time.
Poland, I have a question. How can we position this house if we don't have corner stakes?
That's where that is a very important question, which is
Thank you very much.
which is why I'm trying to talk about a plat of survey.
Well, yeah, and so there are wooden stakes out there, so I would assume there are stakes in the ground, so we'll follow all that.
Thank you. Will this be part
Of our
of the staff?
recommendation?
Yes.
With this,
For a recommendation to make
That we're
sure you
getting
have a
corner
right
stakes.
plat.
I
The
think it's-
contractor.
I think it's a little bit beyond I think we have a consensus understanding that a plat of survey is necessary.
Thank you.
I don't think it's
Okay.
enough nexus.
Thank you.
Mr. Rodriguez, do you feel that a plat survey is definitely needed?
I mean, I'm gonna need it no matter what. By the time if I sell this house or keep it, it's good to have it just to know the limits of our property. And I'm pretty sure Turinga should have already the data that is needed to create a plat survey.
Yes.
I would feel awful if the setback was 21 feet instead of 22 feet.
Or there wasn't even a need for one? You never
Thank you.
know. Okay. All right, I think we could close this period of public expression. All right, and I think we've hopefully solved that problem. All right, any other questions for members? All right, as I said, we'll take one section at a time, so we'll do Z 23-16 for the developmental variance for the lot area less than 7,500 square feet in our R1 district. Staff report, please.
okay, so I'll just read the staff recommendation for the staff report we're submitting. Staff has reviewed the petitioner's request in Z 2316 and recommends that the BZA grant the developmental variance. Should the board feel the petitioner has met the standards, subject to the following conditions. 1, replacement of public sidewalk running along the frontage of lot per city engineering department specifications. 2, reasonable efforts be made to preserve mature trees in public rights-of-way, AKA in the tree lawns. And 3, approval of BZA developmental variance case number Z2317 and its conditions.
All right, we also have proposed findings of facts. Any additions, deletions from board members? Hearing none, do we have a motion to adopt the staff report and its recommendations and the proposed findings of fact as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote?
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
William Hutton,
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes?
3 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Okay, do we have a motion in regard to Z-23-16?
Well, I'll have to read the staff recommendation for that one.
Pardon?
That's it, I'll have to read the recommendation first for that one.
I could not hear.
I'll have to read the staff recommendation first for that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Z2317, we'll submit the staff report in full, but I'll read the recommendation. Staff has reviewed the petitioner's request and recommends that the BZA grant the developmental variance should the board feel the petitioner has met the standards, subject to the following conditions. 1, the roof-covered portion of any porch should not...
Excuse me, are you on Z-2317?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to finish Z-2316 with a vote first, okay?
Oh, I apologize.
Hey, it's something I'm doing right, I think.
I am a little out of it today, guys. I'm sorry.
Congratulations for a change. Okay, we have, thank you very much, you made me feel good tonight.
There must be a full moon.
There is. All right, and I have a thick washing machine. Okay, do we have a motion in regard to Z-23-16 in regard to approval or denial of the developmental variance?
I'll make the motion to approve the, I can never get this up.
Ms. Reagan, we can't hear.
Oh, excuse me. I make the motion that we approve the variance to
For Z-23-16?
Z-23-16 with staff recommendations 1 through 3.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Nancy Reagan.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes?
3 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Okay, we'll now move to Z-23-17, the developmental variance for the side yard setback. Any questions from board members at this time? Okay, could we now have the staff reports?
Okay, my apologies.
No problem.
Yeah, in Z2317, the staff recommendation reads, staff has reviewed the petitioner's request and recommends that the BZA grant the developmental variance. Should the board feel the petitioner has met the standards, subject to the following conditions. 1, the roof-covered portion of any porch shall not encroach further than 3 feet into the 25-foot deep front yard setback. 2, the roof-covered porch and any of its future replacements shall never be used as habitable space. And 3, approval of BZA developmental variance case number Z2316 and its conditions.
All right. We also have, as far as proposed findings of fact, for Z-23-17, any additions, any deletions that any board member would like to make? Hearing none. Do we have a motion to adopt the staff report and its recommendations and the proposed findings of fact?
I make that motion.
We have a motion made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote?
Nancy Reagan.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes?
3 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Okay, do we have a motion to adopt or deny the developmental variance for Z-23-17?
I make the motion to grant the variance development with staff recommendations 1, 2, and 3 to Z-23-17.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and we have a roll call vote to approve Z-23-17.
Nancy Reagan.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes?
3 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Okay. We wish you luck as far as in the building, and we wish you luck as far as making sure your property's marked correctly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can talk tomorrow
Thank you
about, yeah, we can talk about tomorrow about the actual permit, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
All
Happy
right.
Halloween, everyone.
Any commissioners' comments? Any staff comments?
I believe we will have a meeting, which is the first Tuesday of December. Tom, there's that, the 7-Eleven, hopefully?
Hopefully that is prepared, yes. And there are a couple other things, but I think those people are going to want to wait till next year with the winter and all that.
Okay, so keep that on your schedule so that we are all here on time.
Okay, what was that
Well,
date? Dan, geez, I don't have the calendar here. Kind of that date again, please? The date?
5th.
December 5th, correct? Okay. All right. Any public comment? Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
And it is now 6:57. Thank you for attending. Have a wonderful Halloween.
Thank you.
Please feel free to take a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, no thanks, no
Or
Thanksgiving
a-
meeting.
Or a couple, or whatever you need.
He would.
For somebody who wanted this meeting and showing up late,